Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at VRA. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, jumping into Verasity. So we are on the daily chart. This is TradingView. We're going to switch over to the KuCoin chart in a bit. But right now, we do have two Fibonacci retracements here. So I know it may seem a little confusing, but basically if I zoom out here, all right, you have this large resistance trend line, and this white trend line was our support, but we lost it, in January here, and I didn't really update the charts because I wasn't really charting during the, when the war started basically in Ukraine. So I didn't have any time. So right now I'm trying to get back into daily uploads. So yeah, we do have this high over here. We do have a higher high over here. Right now, we are in a retracement wave, a corrective wave, actually, I want to say, and potentially we are forming some sort of a cup and handle pattern over here. So we'll get to that in a second. Now, we do have our swing low here, July 20th. We haven't lost that low, which is important, right? So this is your low, and now we printed a higher low. So essentially, this is an uptrend because you have your high, you have your higher high, you have your low, you have your higher low. So right now what we need to do is create a higher high and a higher low. That is basically your uptrend. Now, taking a look at the Fibonacci levels, basically the swing low of the large fib is right over here at 0.00731, and the swing high is all the way back here in April of last year at 0.055. So we broke through that, almost got to the 1.272, entered a corrective phase, and right now it seems like we have bottomed out, and we actually printed a nice double bottom pattern here, as you can see. So let me just show you this. That's your first bottom, that's your second bottom. So that's a nice double bottom pattern. That is your high. So after breaking this high, we're going to set a target right now. So basically what you do is you take a trend line from the top of the candle over here. You take a trend line and take it all the way down to the lowest point of the double bottom pattern. Let's switch that to white. Okay. Then you take that pattern, you take that trend line, place it on top of the swing high over here, and that will give you your target. So the target that we have at the minute is the 1.618, sitting at 0.0058 cents. So that is going to be our target of the double bottom pattern. So I'm just going to keep the double bottom in here so I don't forget about it, right? So that is your target, okay? That's what you're looking at after you start breaking this, right? And even without this double bottom pattern, you would still be targeting the 1.618 because as soon as you break the first fib level, which is over here, as you can see, this is your first fib level over here. As soon as you break through that, you're looking at the 1.618. So right now we have the double bottom pattern suggesting we are going to get to the 1.618 if we break this high. And if we break this high, you are still looking at the 1.618 because that is usually your target after breaking the first fib level. So hopefully that is easy to understand. Obviously, there are a couple of hurdles along the way. We have the 1.414 and the 1.272. Those could be some nice take profit zones for you as well. I'm gonna slap on the price labels on there so that you can see some of the resistance levels. I'm gonna remove some of the lower price labels over here, and we're gonna take a look at the cup and handle, at the potential cup and handle pattern that we have over here. So right now, as you can see, the 1.618 of the large Fibonacci retracement is sitting all the way up here at 19.5 cents, basically. So that's after we break through this first fib level on the large Fibonacci retracement, basically. Okay, now this smaller one has a 1.618 target of 0.058, as we discussed previously. Also, we have a bullish cross playing out on the daily chart where the 20 EMA crosses above the 55. That gives us the bullish cross. Now, talking about the cup and handle, the potential cup and handle pattern. So basically this is your cup over here, right? So this is your resistance, right? You can see that that's a cup. Now, basically what you need to do now is start a channel down pattern. And from this channel down pattern, you are going to start breaking out. And once you start breaking out, you can set a target. So what you do is you take a trend line from the resistance of the cup, place it all the way down to the bottom of the cup, then take it to the upside, and wherever you start breaking out, that is going to be your target. Wherever you start breaking out from the channel down pattern, right, you just place it at the channel down pattern's resistance, and that gives you the 1.272 target. So we have currently 2 targets, and the second one is based off of speculation, basically, because we don't know if this cup and handle pattern is going to play out, right? For that, we need to start this channel down pattern, break out of it. Now, I would look for support at the 20 EMA on the daily chart, which currently sits at 0.002521. And at this exact area where the 20 EMA currently is at, that is the golden ratio of the large Fibonacci retracement and the smaller one. So this gives us more confluence to the fact that this is a strong support level, not only because you had, you know, a touch of support over here and a couple of touches of resistance over here, another backtest of support here, but because you have those 2 golden ratio levels of both fibs over here. Now, failing to hold the 20 EMA, I would look for the 55 EMA as support. And below that, you have the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement on the smaller fib, sitting at 0.0231. Okay, so those are good entry points for you. Right now, we're running into the 786 on the fib, and we can't get through it really. We have wicked over there a couple of times, barely closed above it. So this is a level that we're struggling to get through. But once we do, and once we backtest that as support, we're good to go and take out and retrace to the swing high over here at 0.0348. But before we do that, I do think we're going to see a backtest of support here of the 20 EMA. Overall, VRA is doing bullish right now. It is pretty bullish. So unless Bitcoin craps the bed, you know, I don't expect to see any strong corrections, but a healthy pullback is needed. So here you do have 2 support levels on the relative strength index. This yellow buy zone is basically a zone which we have tested as resistance multiple times and twice as support. So anywhere from 51.2 on the index all the way to 53, that's a great support area. But above that, we do have a support at 56.5 on the index. And if you see yourself come back down here and bounce off of that, just make sure, you know, if you want to enter here, right, as soon as you touch that, you can potentially bounce. If you don't bounce from there and you start losing this support, right, or you bounce up and start losing it afterwards, once you enter this yellow zone, you know, I would recommend to get into VRA as well, because from there you could see a nice move to the upside. Okay, so that's regarding the daily chart on VRA. Let's jump into KuCoin for some oscillators. Okay, jumping into the weekly chart. So we are in a beautiful uptrend on the weekly chart, a high, a higher high, a low, a higher low. So basically what we need to do now is create another higher high and another higher low. So things are looking good on the weekly chart. We haven't even had the bearish cross on the weekly. We're looking for an EMA squeeze here. Basically, this is when the EMAs come closer together and the 20 bounces off the 55, slings the price over its shoulder, and that's when you see those parabolic moves. But right now we're failing to get through the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, so that's a strong resistance level right now. Hopefully we don't lose the 55, because we don't want to be below the 55, because at that point the 20 would start curling back down once again for the bearish cross, and we do not want to see that happen. So yeah, if Bitcoin continues and it continues with its uptrend, we don't see any more FUD, any black swan events, I do not think the markets are going to crash all of a sudden. So from here, we could potentially see a steady growth for all the altcoins and BTC. But In any case, you should always be ready for a strong pullback, for a black swan event, right? Because anything can happen at any moment. If I just bring out a trend line here, you can potentially see that we do have a nice support over here, just like that. So potentially, if you see yourself come back down, that is going to be where you can enter off of that support. And if I just do something like that, we are potentially, creating some sort of a symmetrical triangle over here, as you can see on the weekly chart. So if I just extend this trend line just a bit like that, right, you can see that you're bouncing up and down in between these two levels. If we take a trend line from the bottom to the top, place it at the breakout, that is potentially going to be our target at 0.00. I do keep saying 20, so it's 0.0478, right? So that's going to be our target out of this symmetrical triangle here. If we take a look at the Stochastic Rsi, we still haven't gotten into the overbought zone, so there's more room to grow. The RSI is basically doing nothing. It's staying it's stable in the middle, and the MACD is curling up for the bullish cross. Once you get the bullish cross on the MACD, just like you did here back in August, was that August or was that, yeah, back in August of last year, that's when you saw that, parabolic move. So this is potentially something that we're looking at very, very similar over here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If I missed out anything on the charts, please let me know down below in the comment section. Guys, thank you for watching. Check out my Patreon. It's a great way to support me. And a lot of TAs going on Patreon. We do market sentiment analysis. All your requests are going to be on Patreon, so feel free to check that out. The link is in the description. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.